two, one.
Welcome to the Marne Report.
Hey, Fort Stewart. It's Kevin Larson with the Fort Stewart Public Affairs Office coming at you with this week's Marne Report. And I'm here with Sergeant Major Manzanares from our Division G3 to talk about something very interesting that's happening here on the installation. It's the Best Squadron competition, and it's actually Forces Command's Best Squadron competition that we're hosting. Isn't that right?
No. It's basically it's a 18th Airborne Corps Best Squad competition.
18th Airborne Corps. I skipped a level. Forgive me. So 18th Airborne Corps. So we're doing the Corps' Best Squadron competition. So can you tell me a little bit about what the event entails, what the competition's all got?
So the competition kicks off on next Monday, on the 25th of July. It's made out of 18 different events. Various events like land navigation, Star Course, which is made up basically where the squads have to travel distances between each point to accomplish a task that they were given. Foot marching, they're going to fire live mortars, and different other events that accumulate this whole resource-intensive event.
So how much planning went into creating this event? I mean, it's not every day that Corps comes down and says, hey, you guys are going to be the hosts for a pretty massive event. How much planning went into this?
Well, we got the task about, I would say, maybe within 100 days. So we've been kind of going kind of quickly and fast and furious because we had to plan our Division one first.
Right.
So before we did the Corps one, we had to do our division and choose our division team.
Right.
To compete with the other Corps, with the other division teams as well.
So how many teams are actually coming down? Five teams.
Well, 4 teams, and then our team, a big 5. Yeah.
5 teams. So how many soldiers in a squad?
For this competition, the SMA, Sergeant Major of the Army, he wanted basically a squad of 5. For normally a squad is about 9-man squad, but for this competition, he wanted a squad of 5.
Okay. So here at 3rd ID, who was our best squad?
Our best squad was selected from 2nd Brigade, so it was a medical platoon squad. So it was kind of how would I say, surprising.
That is
because
surprising.
we normally, you would be thinking that it would be like an infantry platoon, but this one was the medical platoon was the best squad for division.
So, having said that we've got kind of an odd bird, so to speak, competing. What are the other teams coming? Are they the more traditional expected squads, or do they have kind of unexpected participants?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I really don't know. I know the 101st is bringing one, 82nd is bringing one. Then they got a separate brigade that they're kind of attached to them, so they're bringing one as well. That's the MP brigade. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like the odd kind of side of MOS,
right?
Or branch style competing, and then the 10th Mountain, of course.
And we'll pause here for a short break.
Are you looking for more places to get your news? Subscribe to the Fort Stewart Hunter Army Airfield YouTube channel. As we add to this platform throughout the year, users will have access to installation tours, news updates, and plenty of motivating videos featuring 3ID soldiers and more. Visit youtube.com and search Fort Stewart Hunter Army Airfield.
And we're back. So you mentioned mortars. I mean, that's going to be pretty interesting for, MPs, medical. That's not normally something that they do. I mean, is that normal for this kind of a competition, that there's kind of a steep learning curve for an event? I mean, that's unusual. That's not something they do every day, or is that a standard soldier task, a kind of like a medal skill?
It's a skill level 3 task, 2 or 3 tasks to call for fire.
Okay.
So every soldier should be able to know how to do it in case they come engaged with an enemy in combat, and they should be able to call for artillery or mortars support, indirect fire support. So it's within the levels of the standard, 1, 2, and 3 levels of competition or soldier task, if you would call it that way. But we have 4 mystery events. So within the 18 tasks,
Right.
there's 4 mystery events that are kind of surprising for them. So
Interesting.
they think they're doing something else, and then something else will pop up just to keep it
Fascinating.
interesting and keep them on their toes.
Fascinating.
Engaged. Yeah.
That'll be fun. So who's out there? Who are the observer controllers? Who's observing, grading, making sure that they're doing the right things, and then actually, yeah, that was to standard, or oh no, that's a little bit not quite what we were expecting. Who's out there actually grading all the events?
It's going to be the whole division of Third ID, and I'm kind of the overseer of everything.
Right.
But each brigade of the division has a part to play into the whole competition.
Right.
So they all got their events, and they're the ones that'll be grading the competitors as they go through the competition.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And how many days is this going to span?
This kicks off with an icebreaker on Monday, on the 25th of July, and then it spans until a 3-day event until the 20th. We will close it out with a award ceremony at 2nd Brigade Headquarters
Right.
on the 28th of July.
Perfect.
I would say probably 1,500.
And are there any events where people could come out and watch, cheer, anything like that, or is
I
it
think the only time, because we want the competitors to just focus on competing,
right?
It's probably the last event, which is going to be the last 100 yards, and that's going to be at 2nd Brigade Headquarters, and that'll be kicking off somewhere around 1,400.
Perfect. So that's the place to be if you want to see the best squadron wrap up here for 18th Airborne Corps that we're hosting. Sergeant Major, is there anything that you want to add or that I didn't ask you?
No, just come out on the 28th of July around 1,400. We're going to have USO support. We're going to have some other sponsors as well. We're going to close it out there, and then it's going to be a great event all throughout. So, yeah.
Perfect. And who do you want to have win?
I got to stay neutral on the whole thing, but I hope we have a great competition, and you know, it's going to be a challenge for these guys. So, especially with everything that they have to do and accomplish.
Well said. Well, I appreciate you coming out, Sergeant Major. Hey, folks, if you want to go out and cheer on the best squads, see them coming through the finish line, go to 2nd Brigade the day the Sergeant Major said, and you can be a part of the energy and the excitement. And that's it for this week's edition of the Marne Report. Thanks so much for listening. This is Kevin, signing off.
Are you a civilian, spouse, or family member who is interested in working for the Army? Check out the Army Fellows Program. This 2-year program allows you to experience the work environment of the Department of Defense while blending work assignments and developmental opportunities that will help you grow into an Army civilian professional with eligibility for permanent placement across the Army. For more information, visit portal.chra.army.mil.